Title of this story is, Am I the Astronaut for Wanting to Go No Contact with My Roommate with 6 months left on the lease? That would be complicated. I, 31 female, currently live with my best friend, 35 female, and her boyfriend, 27 male. My friend and I have lived together before, and she started dating her now boyfriend around 4 years ago towards the last year of our lease. He essentially moved into our apartment without either of them discussing it with me and lived there rent-free for almost a year despite having his own home. After the lease ended, we decided to not renew because I was still uncomfortable with how he lived with us for a year without ever contributing anything, and they wanted to live together. Fast forward, and we are all in situations where we needed roommates, and we decided to live together again, which I am now deeply regretting. Well, I mean, you regretted it the first time. You didn't want to do it again, so being forced into a situation that you were already uncomfortable with, yeah, we'll red flag that for you. This time around, I set hard boundaries of things I will and will not tolerate, and we discussed and agreed to them all as a group. Well, that's good. He said he understood he needs to take accountability, pay rent, clean up around the house, be respectful, and all the standard things that I would consider basic respect in a shared space. It has been 6 months of living together, and he has backslid on every promise he has made. Well, that sucks. Typically, my friend is the one to address the problems with him because he's her problem. But when they go unresolved, I need to step in and put a stop to it. Oh, you get to be the apartment mom. That's a fun job. He is your stereotypical silver spoon entitled rich kid and never considers how his actions affect other people. He is moody, and when he's in a bad mood, he takes it out on the whole apartment. He's either starting fights with my friend or he's sulking, dragging us all down. He has an elevated perception of self-importance, so all conversations with him consist of him mansplaining, telling you you're wrong, cutting you off mid-sentence, belittling things you care about, and one-upping everything you say. I'm going to run out of red flags here soon. He blames his immaturity and, in my opinion, shit personality on his upbringing, which, to be fair, he didn't have the easiest time, but uses it as a weapon for why he shouldn't be held accountable for his actions. He's absolutely miserable to be around. Full transparency, I have gotten into heated combos in the past with him because I just can't take the disrespect sometimes. I told him once it's not acceptable to leave his open, uneaten pizza on my sofa overnight after weeks of us cleaning up around him. He proceeded to be mad at me for 3 weeks. I've even found a bowl of half-eaten rice in the blankets of the sofa. This is like New Girl whenever Cece moves in and she's a slob and Schmidt just can't see it because he's in love with her, and everybody's like, she's a slob, she's a hot slob, she's a big fat slob. I hit my breaking point last week because over the past few months, he has done nothing but pretend that I don't exist. Like I walk into a room and we can go 2 hours sitting next to each other and he won't look up from his phone once to acknowledge my existence. He ignores me if I try to be civil and say hello and ask him how he is. I'm not trying to be his best friend. I'm trying to be civil for everyone's sake, but he does not consider it worth his time to even look at me. He's cut me off while I'm mid-sentence talking to my friend like I'm not there and completely changes the convos to exclude me multiple times. It all came to a head when my friend texted me saying their dog has a cancerous lump, so when I got home, naturally, I wanted to know what was going on. He ignored my existence per usual, not even looking up to see who walked in, so my friend and I started talking about her dog for about 5 minutes until he abruptly yells at me to stop talking about it. In the moment, I just sat there stunned that he yelled at me, but I ended up just getting up and leaving. I ended up crying because A, she's not my dog, but I love her, and I was upset to hear the news, and B, this guy can provide me with no human decency, and I'm treated no better than a piece of furniture in my own apartment. Furniture which he leaves half-eaten bowls of rice in. Important note. I've decided to just treat him the way he treats me for the past week and not acknowledge him and stay out of their way. My friend and I talked about it today while he was gone, and she said she did not see an issue with how he spoke to me that night, to which I disagreed. She mentioned he is upset and feels excluded, which honestly made me laugh because same. I explained why I felt so upset about it, and she asked if I'd be willing to talk to him about it. At this point, I just want nothing to do with him. I'm okay spending my time away from them in my room until the lease is up because I can understand why she feels in the middle. I know the mature thing to do would be to talk to him about it, but I'm just so tired of it and out of to give about his personal journey to being a better person that's going nowhere. I'm not his mother. I'm not his girlfriend. I'm not his caretaker. I don't feel like it's my job to teach a grown-ass man how to be a decent human being when he's already treating me with zero respect. So am I the astronaut for wanting to go low to no contact? Hell no. No, this is, the roommate seeing no issue is probably the biggest red flag out of all of this. And yeah, it's because she's too close to it. She's Schmidt in this situation, right? She's too close to it. She loves him. So she's blinded to all of his flaws. Apparently she's got the rose tinted glasses on. The messiness is one thing. The being a disrespectful little shit of a child is a completely other thing, where this guy is willing to ignore someone's existence that he lives with, like a sibling would do, just to be a jerk and to give someone a hard time. The fact that this person is still doing this. What are the ages again? Did we talk about ages? 27. He's 27. He's 27 years old, and he's still, the messiness is one thing. You've addressed it. Hopefully that gets better, but it's somebody who's childish enough to treat another human being like that and pretend that they don't exist, except to yell at them. That's unacceptable. And the friend ignoring all of this and pretending that it doesn't exist is the biggest red flag out of anything here. This person is going to cause this friend to burn every bridge with friends that she's got. Again, is going to end up siloing her, is going to end up isolating her, is already probably gaslighting her into believing whatever shit version of reality he's got here. And he's got an excuse for everything, and he's blaming it on his upbringing. So this guy's going to be a peach to deal with. You are not an asshole for going low to no contact, even though you still live with these people. If the roommate, your friend, isn't willing to take any kind of action to prevent her boyfriend from treating you like shit, she's choosing to not be a friend to you as well. So survive the end of your lease and then get the F out of there. And your friendship with this person is probably over. Now, hopefully your friend will wake up and be like, oh, you know what? This really is terrible. Number one, why am I with this person? Number two, I'm so sorry that I allowed you to be treated that way. Candy Thunder. I didn't hit the button. Oh my God, it's Candy Thunder.
Hi, guys. I skimmed the story.
You skimmed it?
Yeah, there's like that episode of Friends where Rachel goes to like the night class it's like a book club or something with Phoebe, and she doesn't read the books, and then she steals Phoebe's answers. So I was trying to skim really, really quickly.
So, I mean, the short version of the story, well, you heard me talk about it.
I read it, yeah, so, I did. And I saw the thing that stuck out to me was the fact that this guy left a bowl of rice like on their sofa in the blankets.
Yeah.
That's so nasty.
Half-eaten pizza, just laying there.
Yeah, we had this conversation before about where kids don't learn how to take care of themselves, or like that everything is done for them, so they literally have no idea how to survive, or like no idea how to just be a basic human being because they've always been pampered. And yeah, so here's your daily reminder not to allow your kids to do things for themselves.
But this guy blames his dickheadishness on his upbringing. Said he had a hard upbringing, which would say to me that he wasn't spoiled into having people do everything for him. So,
but she said he had a silver spoon entitled rich kid.
Yes. So his blaming his really hard upbringing, even though he's a silver spoon rich kid, would be just bullshit.
I don't really know. This guy just sounds like an asshole and not a nice guy. I don't understand why the friend's with him if he can't even like do basic things like wash dishes, or I don't know.
Or empty your food out in the trash. And
not leave rice in a bowl on the couch.
Yes.
Like that's just, I feel like you shouldn't have to ask somebody not to do that. And maybe it was just intentional to be a dick to somebody.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's
Do you like ants? That's how you get ants and mice. Leaving all kinds of food out like that.
Dustin gets something else that triggers Dusty is leaving food out in the house. He gets
not a fan.
And by the people, I mean our teenagers. Not us. Maybe sometimes me.